who's always adaptable to situation, especially this year, MCO. I think a lot of businesses had to close down. It's because their BAU, their business as usual, their business model don't work anymore. So those who survive and even thrive are the ones who could adapt. Yeah. So I sum it out to these 3 points: someone who adds value, someone who knows his why, and someone who is always growing and who is able to adapt to situation.
Yeah, because if I may add, I think it's good to have all these 3 points, Ivan, and I think what I can summarize from the point of view from both of you is like never stop. You have just to keep on going. Try. If you fall down, get up back and just try on and try on again. Right? So that is quite impactful and insightful, actually. So, okay, I do have a question for you, Ivan, if I may. Yeah. So, right. So, what do you think matter most? Having the idea of execution.
Great question. I hold on to this belief. I wrote it down somewhere on my whiteboard or so. This phrase: ideas are worthless, execution is everything. So I repeat again: ideas are worthless, execution is everything. Now, a lot of people, young entrepreneurs, or young guys who want to start business, they always say, I have great ideas. And, I've thought about this idea before. Then they come to me and say, hey, what do you think about this great idea? I say, everyone has great ideas. So, in your lifetime, I believe everyone has $1 billion idea. But those who are successful are the ones who actually execute on those ideas. Yeah. So, execution. But at the same time, on the flip side of it, I would say that without the ideas, you can't execute on anything also. So don't be a headless horse. Yeah.
Correct. But I'm pretty sure that you must throw a lot of ideas, right? You cannot be sticking to one ideas only. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ivan.
I think everyone has a lot of great ideas.
True indeed.
Yeah. Right. So it's about what you do with the ideas that matters.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Ivan. So I would like to ask this question to Irfan. If, let's say, I wanted to start a business, right? So, but I have no source of income. So, what do I do? Any advice that you can give me?
Okay, well, you could actually start by becoming a dropshipper to other brands, or dalam kata lain kita boleh cakap try kerja dulu dengan orang, try kerja dulu dengan other brands, other business, because this method is actually not just for those who have no source of income, but also a must for those who had never done any business before, because there are a lot of things that to be learned in this early stage of business. By becoming a dropshipper or an agent, you can learn on how to handle the customer, how to sell, how to close, how to sort your money, how to manage your money, especially when it comes to savings. All these little things, all these simple things, those are actually the skills that you need to master before jumping into your own business, right? And you can also learn on how that brand business flow, how they do their marketing, how they run their stocks, how they manage their stuff. Gain as much experience as you can, while also making money from it. Okay, kita collect lah little by little from that becoming a dropshipper or an agent, and also when you are ready enough, you can upgrade yourself from a dropshipper becoming an agent, from agent becoming a stockist, and then when you are finally ready enough with enough experience, enough money, you can start your own business. And at this stage as well, you will know whether you are into a business field or not, whether you are determined enough or disciplined enough to be a businessman or businesswoman, because sejujurnya tak semua orang akan mampu untuk berbisnes.
Betul.
That is the truth. Tak semua orang mampu untuk berbisnes, because you need to deal with how disciplined you are, how consistent you are, how you are dealing with pressure, all these things. So yes, gain experience first, and this is one of the way and the method how to start lah. If you have zero income or you had never done any business before.
I see. Itulah kan, Irfan. Sekarang ni, most of us, kebanyakan lah orang dekat luar sana, if they want to start a business, they have this kind of fear of failing tau. So, apa advice yang terbaik yang you boleh bagi dekat diorang in terms of to manage that kind of fear of
For me, is it for me? Sorry.
Yes, Irfan, for you. Yes.
Okay. Kalau nak advice from me, you just need to start. Either you are afraid you are afraid to fail or afraid to do something new, but you never know until you start doing something lah. So for me, the best advice is start, try and explore, so you will gain experience from it. If it fail, turn the fail into learn lah. Kita belajar something from it, not just fail then you give up. If you are fail, learn something from it and start doing another thing.
I see. All right, that's wonderful indeed on the answers. Okay, for Ivan and Irfan, I do have some questions, because it's been like twinkling in my mind right now, because I wanted to understand further. Actually, we are so eager to find out on the basis of you starting on your business, in terms of the ideas, in terms of you selling the products, maybe you can give us some heads up on your experience in starting up your own business.
I'll start first. I think so my idea, I'm in a food business, in the snack business. I'm not a chef, I don't know how to cook, but I somehow own a 7-figure snack business right now. So how I got into it is, number one is to actually identify the demand on the market. Don't build something that the market don't want. So I believe that you always need to identify who you want to serve first and build a product for that audience that you want to serve. Yeah, so the story was in Singapore, there was this snack, there was this brand that was very big. Everyone was lining up for it. People were paying about, I think, $16 for it, which is about 50 ringgit for a packet of snack. I thought it was ridiculous. And I asked myself that, why not I create something that is more reasonably priced, and also we don't donate our money to Singapore economy. It's as simple as that. So I drafted out something, proposed to someone, found a business partner. Long story short, I built the company from my bedroom after work hours, and here I am right now. Yeah.
See. But I think I do know what is the product you are referring to, Ivan, in Singapore. Because I am one of the buyer actually.
Yeah, you should have bought from me.
Right, okay. Can we hear from Irfan as well?
Okay, yes. Well, this is quite a long story actually, but I'll try to make it shorter, as short as I can. And actually, I never tell this story publicly to any other platform before. So this is my first time sharing this one. Okay, so about Zush, back then, me and Afiq, one of my partner right now, Afiq Asri, we start selling jersey when we were at our second year degree in IIUM, or we call it UIA. Both of us love designing as we were studying in architectural and design. But since designing a building are bored in a forest, so we start exploring new things. Like Afiq, he like to explore on designing, how to design a t-shirt, how to design a jersey. While myself, I like to explore on business. I like to sell some things whenever I saw a potential of it. So I once sold t-shirt to all secondary schools all around Malaysia and also to university, and especially to IIM students. You know, the simple t-shirt where it shows their school logo and university logo on it, and I start selling it online. So from that, I know how the market are, how the demand patterns among students, how to handle customers, and how to deal with supplier lah, the important part. So I approached Rafiq to set up a brand at that time, as I saw potential on him to design something. So I need someone like him to become my sidekick to grow both of our potential. So I know that it will be a long journey when we decided to build a brand, but we both saw the potential and also we like to explore new things. And then we started creating JC design and search for a factory that can deliver our design into reality. Boleh kata habis satu tuan beli tu kita orang cari supplier, kita orang cari factory, the best factory that can came out with what we want lah, the best quality, the best design that can come out. And we also try so many technique on that time before right now we doing sublimation technique. Back then, kita tak tahu pun lagi apa tu sublimation. So we try so many techniques like heat press, embroidery on that JC. And finally, after we found the best factory and the best supplier that can come out with the best JC like we want to, we start selling in at the online platform lah. And also not to mention, we start a brand that time called Cobra. We start creating JC that with a brand called Cobra on that time. And then after we start selling it online, we learn about Facebook ads a bit, and we did all-out marketing like photo shoot, video shoot, posters, and also copywriting on our own lah. We don't need bigger budget at that time, as we did everything on our own with the helps of our friends. You know, university life, we got a bunch of friends who love photography, are willingly to help in photo shoot, video shoot. You got a bunch of friends who know how to edit a video, and also a bunch of friends who are handsome or sado enough, we call in that time, to become your model on that time. So they are willingly to help on that time because it is something new and fun to do it together, right, at university stage. But still, of course, you have to pay them with a reasonable price if you have to, or at least treat them if they refuse to accept, because it is a courtesy as a human and not taking advantage of it lah. So after we found the pattern on how to sell, we continue selling and creating new product each month. Kita keluarkan satu design baru, and then next month kita start jual the new designs, and sold it all in online platform lah. So we learn so many things during that phase. The best thing that we get to learn is to train ourselves to work under pressure, as we both still architecture student, right? I mean, being an architecture student itself, the course will steal your life and your sleep. Orang kata architecture student ni mana pernah tidur kan. Dia orang untuk buat assignment pun tak cukup masa. How can they do something else, especially business? But yeah, there is one time me and Afiq start selling JC, but at the same time we need to submit our final assignment during that semester. But we managed to take turns doing that, like macam I reply customer on WhatsApp and Facebook while Afiq doing his model and assignments, and then half an hour later we swap. I do the assignments and Afiq continue replying WhatsApp on Facebook. And Alhamdulillah, we managed to done it both on the next day, but memang parah gila. So for students out there yang tak kuat, especially architecture students, please jangan tiru kat sini. But that moment is definitely priceless lah for me. So after we figured out that the market of this are wide enough to be explored and pursued, then after we saw how people love our product, you know the feeling bila you receive a lot of feedback saying that bos ni JC paling selesa saya pakai, ini material yang paling bagus saya pernah tengok kan. So keep producing, we keep support, all these things yang buat kami lagi percaya into this business, because it's suitable and also aligned with our mission to providing the best quality and comfortable something to wear to people. Then once we are ready, we start expanding the brand, the Cobra brand. There is an investor and other partners who joined the brand. And also during that time, we met Mohsen, who one of the IT guy right now at Zush. So Mohsen taught us a lot about systems and website, the exact things that we are lack during that time. So Mohsen memang banyak ajar pasal system, on how to systematic this part, and also doing website. And then after almost 3 successful years of running Cobra, me and Afiq finally decided to sell it to the other partners lah. Because me, Afiq and Mohsen are finally ready to build our own empire. We start building our own brand called Zush right now. So with 3 years of experience in this field, now 3 of us are partners for Zush, the brand that has been extracted from 3 of our expertise combined. The reason how we managed to do such a progress in just a year and a half, So yeah, this is a bit of story about our journey and how we started off the business.
Oh, that's quite a long journey Irfan, you ada dekat situ
Yes.
It's very long. I can summarize that very long tu lah. Tapi to be honest lah Irfan, how I wish I can be one of your model lah untuk jersey tu, but I know that I tak cukup sadar. And it's more like a sadaqallahul azim sekarang ni badan.
No, actually it's suitable for any type of people lah. Kita ada banyak size and also suitable for any type of people.
Sure. I will drop by to Zush. Okay. I know that starting a business is quite hard for a certain type of people or certain markets, right? Especially all these students who just finish or graduate from the universities, right? So, is there any points that you need to take into consideration, or like you have to be careful or you have to be aware in terms of starting up a business? Maybe I can have Ivan to answer this first.
So like your question is precaution, is it?
Yes,
Or what
correct,
to take note
exactly.
before
More like
starting
a
business?
precautions.
I think number one, back to I think I learned this model from the bank when I was in Maybank. So there's this model called business model canvas. It's a simple model on how to build a business. And we always start, like a lot of people think that to start a business is you need a great product. But to be honest, you don't. You need to first identify a need. I think that's a more important thing. If there's no need for a product and you feel that your product is like something that needs to be created and no one wants to buy it, your business shouldn't exist at all. You'll just be shock sendiri lah. That's what I would say. Yeah. So I think yeah.
So basically memang kita kena look into the market punya demand, is it?
Yes.
Kalau nak
yes.
start up the business.
Yeah, so like I think Apple is one of the great examples. They always survey the demand or they create the demand. But I don't think there are a lot of people who are like Steve Jobs in the world. But in general sense, I think anyone should start a business by first identifying is there a demand for that product or service that they want to build in the market. Number two is to then ask your why. Why do I want to start a business? Because a lot of people say, I want to start a business because I want to be a millionaire. It's because, we watch so many of all these YouTube ads and say that, this is my sports car and all. But in reality, that's not reality lah.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's too ambitious for me already.
Yeah. So then after that, you ask yourself, okay, now that I identify there's a demand, I know my why, then you ask yourself, do I have the skills to build it or not? Yeah, so I think like you have to be honest with yourself also. Like if I don't have the skills, can I develop these skills to build this product or service for this audience that I want to market my product or sell my product to? Yeah. Then after that, the fourth is the reality is that can I make money out of this or not? Because if you can't make money out of whatever that you are trying to create, I don't think it will last very long. Because a lot of people say passion, but I don't agree with passion lah. That's not reality. It's very hard to combine passion and money together, I would think. But I'm not saying that it's not possible. Yeah. So a lot of people say, I'm passionate about becoming a musician. But if in reality they can't make money out of being a musician, then they have to be honest with themselves and say, hey, okay, if I really want to create music for the world, what can I do to sustain myself? Because in reality, we still need to eat. We still need to survive in this world.
Yeah, basically you just need to live in reality lah, kan? I can say like that, Ivan.
Yep.
You cannot be too ambitious as well. That is what I've been trying to put into myself. I tend not to be too ambitious in whatever I'm doing. I have set a certain goals in my life, but I'm trying hard not to be ambitious towards it lah. Because I know if it knocks me hard, I wouldn't be able to like pull myself back up again. So it's better for you to like fall down and you able to come back up again. So that is my opinion in terms of that. Right. Okay. Now, guys, since that both of you have started on your business, then you have moved along quite well on your business now. So, what are the things that you wish you knew before you started your business? Things that you knew before you started your business.
Irfan, can go first.
Okay, I'll start. For me, I wish I could plan my journey earlier lah. Yes, I know it is hard to plan something as we cannot predict the future, and we do not know what the future holds, especially for students lah. For students, kita tak tahu yang jalan kita ke mana after we grad, where we're going to go. But the thing is, you will never know if it works or not if you haven't planned any, right? So, kalau kita tak ada plan langsung, how do we track yang plan kita tu menjadi atau tak? So just plan it. No matter how impossible do you think it is, just plan your goals. You would only say that it is impossible because you did not see the path yet. But believe me, the path can only be open for you if you really want it, if you set a goal towards it. So the path can only be open if you believe in it. Taking an example, law of attraction lah. Studies already shows how the minds work. You often see about what you were thinking. For instance, let's say I would like to buy a car. I would like to buy a white Maybank car to be specific. But I still in doubt because my current car is still working fine. So, but I'm still thinking about the car lah. And suddenly from that day, from that moment, the day after and the day after that, you will see the white Maybank car everywhere, right? At the parking lot, at the streets, and even on your social media, everywhere. Have you been experienced this before? You do, right? It's like a magic. That is how the nature works. That is how the nature works. That is how the minds work. Because once you've been thinking about it so much, then your mind will be focusing on that thing. So please try it. Plan your journey. Set your goals. Be as specific as you can. Your future start from now. Inshallah, the path will be wide open for you just as you wish. I just wish I knew this earlier. I just wish that I know how this worked earlier, so that I can plan mine even better. But however, of course, this is what the God wants me to be. This is how He actually wants me to experience my life. So I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just sharing this with you guys so that you guys can do this earlier. It is not a guarantee, but I can say 7 out of 10 of your plans would work, depending on how committed you are, of course. But believe me, if you don't try it, if you didn't try it, you will never know.
That's some advice you have over there, Irfan. I hope that I can implement it well, and I hope the audience too can take a lot of notes down there in terms of the journey. Yeah. So okay, Ivan. Yeah, I would love to hear from you.
Things I knew. I wish I knew.
Yep. Yes.
I think number one, do not be afraid of failure. Take it as a lesson, because the journey of entrepreneurship, you'll fail almost every single day, whether in a big manner or a small manner. I think another good thing that I wish I had was a mentor, because I read a lot of books. So I think you can learn from people's mistakes instead of you going into it and making that mistake that has been, written somewhere in the world already. Yeah, so I think having a mentor is good. The next one is knowing accounting. Something more logic lah. I think every entrepreneur should at least have some basic knowledge of accounting, because numbers do not lie. I came from an engineering background. I never studied business ever in my life. I'm very science. Like my entire academic journey was all science. So, but at the same time, right now, the internet has a lot of free resources. Make sure you know your accounts, because if you don't pay close attention to your numbers, you can make a lot of wrong decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah. True indeed. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, true indeed. Okay, thank you for the wonderful sharing. But nowadays, Ivan and Irfan, we been hearing and noticed quite numbers of people who is starting up the business, right, keeps on failing, you know, in terms of like they might have some common financial mistakes made by first time, no, as a business owner. So can you like based on your observations, right? So can you name few of the common financial mistakes that they have done that derive to that resulting the business to go decline? Maybe any one of you can help to answer this.
Ivan, I think you can answer.
I think back to that point again, not knowing their numbers. So if you watch shows like Shark Tank, they often, if you see, the investors are always asking about the numbers, because at the end of the day, it all boils down to the numbers. Right? Like if your numbers are not good, you don't know your costing, you don't know your profit margin, basically you don't know how your business is run, because money drives the business. Yeah, it's the tool that drives the business. Yeah, so if you don't know your numbers, then I think like a lot of entrepreneurs neglect those simple things like your cash flow statement, your whatever the three different statement, I can't remember right now. And I think another one is that a lot of entrepreneurs also, after they earn money, this is considering if they are successful and make some profit out of it, they don't reinvest in their business. They spend on their lifestyle. So they inflate their lifestyle and buy a nice car, spend on nicer food and stuff. I'm not saying that's
iPhones.
Wrong. Yeah, iPhones. Yeah, the recent iPhone 12 that just came out.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you spend on your lifestyle instead of reinvesting it in the business, chances are you are just looking for short-term gains, and the journey of entrepreneurship is not about that. Yeah.
Okay, maybe Irfan would like to share also, if you have any thoughts on this.
I agree with Ivan. Yes, business is all about numbers lah. How to manage your money, especially how to manage your savings, especially because at this moment now we know that we cannot predict the future as the pandemic comes. So kita pun memang terkejut. But at least if you have a saving, you can still survive on this situation lah. So yeah, I agree with Ivan that how you manage your money is more important in this business.
Yeah, basically we need to really have a backup in the terms of financial.
Yep, correct.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That's awesome. So by hearing all of this journey of yours in starting up your business, we believe that there's a lot of risk that you guys might face. So in terms of risk, I do have one questions that I would like to raise to both of you. In terms of financial crisis, in moving towards your in starting up your business, do you face any like tough in your financial, throughout your business journey?
Okay, yes, financially speaking, every business will face this type of situation because you need to be aware of this before you start a business. Sebab there is no business that always has a steady financing flow, especially at start. Okay, takkan ada business yang bila start je dia orang terus steady in terms of finance. Okay, that you need to bear in mind. And people said yang business is like a sailing in the ocean lah. There's up and down. Sometimes the obstacles even bigger than usual. But the important thing is that you keep moving forward towards your direction and towards your destination. Okay, I think the worst financing situation that we had faced is when the three of us starting this brand, Zush, at earlier of 2019, last year, we spent 4 months of planning and creating everything without taking any income or salary. Okay,
4 months.
So we 4 bulan tu memang kita tak ada any sort of income, but we keep on planning, set up the machine, set up the factory, and until when Zush is finally ready to run and making profit, then it is the time for us to receive a salary. But still, we only took in a small amount first lah. That moment is actually even harder for us, than facing this pandemic. Because, all of us already got commitments on that time, but then suddenly you need to start from zero, starting a new business, starting a new brand without any income. So comparing to this pandemic situation, it is fortunate that we already run about 1 year before this unexpected thing happened. So we already had few savings from our first year sales to survive. This is important, like I said before. Most people would spend everything right after they receive incredible sales, like Ivan said just now, where you actually supposed to keep at half of it as a saving. We never know what will happen next. Some business are closing down, retrench staff due to lack of preparation, especially saving. But fortunately, this is not happening in Sush, even though it is hard to make a profit during this time. But we still managed to pay our staff and overhead costs using our little saving. And so this shows how important saving is in business.
So it seems that you are quite maintaining and sustaining the business quite well, Irfan, I can say. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, Ivan, maybe would you like to add in anything?
Yeah, I really like his story. I think he's a wise guy in terms of managing his finance. Always save for a rainy day. I think that's the lesson from what I can get from him. Financial crisis, definitely. I wouldn't say it's very big. It's just decisions that I have to make. So I think mid of last year, I decided to commit to a 2-story shop lot in PJ.
Wow.
Very big place to do my production. But it was chicken and egg because last time we were in a smaller place. We wanted to scale the business. So our overhead cost was very high. Probably it's 5 figures. So imagine before even making some profit out of it, that means I need to make a 5-figure profit even before paying myself.
Sometimes they got 5 figures, so like a heart attack already like that.
yeah. So I think in the end we decided to actually we committed a lot to renovation, everything. But I think we changed the business model a bit. So now I am actually partnering with different people so that we can keep our overhead costs low. I think back to financial crisis, the reason why I actually faced that financial crisis is because I didn't pay close attention to my numbers. So I thought I was like, maybe earning a lot of money, selling a lot, but there are some months that I don't sell a lot. Some months it's not like a corporate job where every month you sell a certain amount. There are good months, there are bad months. So I wish that I actually did a cash flow, is it called cash flow analysis? So I could predict my cash flow, because cash flow is the most important thing in every business. It's not actually your revenue. It's not about your profit. It's about cash flow. Yeah. So if you don't have cash in hand, like especially the pandemic, a lot of business had to shut down, even though they were making a lot of revenue. It's because they didn't have cash in hand. So always save for a rainy day. So make sure you invest into put your employees first also. So make sure, because they are the ones running the company, they are the ones that keep the engine going. So not a huge financial crisis. I mean, I still have savings. I'm never bankrupt yet. But I think everyone will go through some sort of financial crisis if you don't manage your money well. So make sure you pay close attention to the money that you have, the inflow and outflow.
All in all, it's all back to basics. It's all the way we manage our financial quite well, and we need to be really disciplined on it, right? So okay, since now that both of you are quite success in in managing your business, we can see that your business is currently growing, and like Ivan said, that you have opened a new shops, and then like Irfan, you never stops producing jerseys, all that. So in terms, I would like to get some of your advices. This is for the audience at home as well.